You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. So we told you the story last week about Ahmaud Arbery, the black man gunned down in Georgia. His attorney, Lee Merritt, today dropped a piece of video that came from an anonymous source. Folks, it's a triggering video. We want you to be prepared for what you're about to see. This is the video that was prepared and given to Lee Merritt about the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery, which took place 2 months ago by two white men who chased him down, but who prosecutors have been protecting by saying they killed him in self-defense. This video proves that is a flat-out lie. All right, folks, now here's the deal. We told you what happened in this particular case here, where the father involved here was a former investigator for the district attorney's office. This case has been moved from two prosecutors, is now in the hands of a third one. It took place 2 months ago. Now, according to the version that prosecutors wrote down and accepted, was that these two white men rolled up on Arbery, yelled to him to stop, and then he got into a scuffle with the son and the gun went off. Now I'm going to do something again. I'm going to play the video again. And so I'm going to walk you through, and again, to expose how that's a lie. Now go ahead and play the video. Now what you're seeing here is someone driving, and you would see, and stop right there. Stop the video. Now what you see right there is, leave the video right there. What you see is, again, this person driving. We see Arbery now in the video frame. He's not running away, he's running forward. These men claimed, which the prosecutor accepted, that they drove up and yelled to Arbery, stop running. Go. Stop. As you can see, their car is already in the road. One of the men, you'll see in a second, he is already outside of the vehicle. So Arbery is running towards the vehicle. They got ahead of Arbery. Press play. Stop. Now play it again. Press play. Stop right there. What you just saw was Arbery. He sees them in the road. He goes around the truck. He's moving towards the right side of the truck. Press play. Now you hear them yell at Arbery. You hear a gunshot, then you hear a second gunshot. You see them still struggling over the shotgun. Joining us right now is attorney Lee Merritt. Lee, you say that this video was given to you anonymously. Obviously, someone was driving and came upon this situation and started recording this on their camera. Now, had they encountered these two men or Arbery earlier, what's the backstory behind the video? Because clearly they're driving and they're recording on the video camera on the phone.
You know what? I think it's important to start referring. I think it's important to start referring to these two men as these three men, because it is our opinion that the third person who was involved in what appears for all intents and purposes to be a hunt, is a man named Brian Williams. He appears in the district attorney's opinion, and we believe he's also the person who's recording this video.
Now, was the video sent to you, or did you acquire the video from someone else?
I acquired the video from someone else. The video was uploaded online anonymously.
So
and a link was sent to me by a coach of Ahmaud.
So we don't know officially who actually shot this video.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, 3 hours ago, the New York Times posted a story saying that a Georgia prosecutor will bring shooting of Ahmaud Arbery to grand jury. It is clear. Now, you posted this video several hours earlier. It is clear that posting of this video forced the hand of this prosecutor who's been sitting on this for 2 months.
That's correct. Well, this prosecutor was given the case a little under a month ago, but for the past month, he has not made any decisions. And it was only today, after the video was released, that he decided that he would present these facts to a grand jury for criminal indictment.
But see, here's the thing that I think people need to understand. A prosecutor doesn't have to actually present a case to the grand jury. A prosecutor can file charges. So now what this prosecutor is doing is saying, well, no, I don't want to make the decision. I'll put it in the hands of a grand jury. And then if they come back and say no charges, I'm good.
That's correct. He can directly indict these men. I believe he has a legal imperative to directly indict this man. The Georgia Supreme Court has suspended the grand jury process. It's been suspended since we have been on a national quarantine and been social distancing. And so that's no longer an excuse for not making an arrest of dangerous men. This is a posse of men who went out and hunted down a black man who they imputed criminality on with no logical basis for that imputation. And so, yes, this district attorney has an absolute obligation today, not later, to go out, file for a warrant for the arrest of these men.
And so, just so we're talking about here, first of all, one of the men is Gregory McMichael. And what's interesting is this is the New York Times story. According to a police report, Mr. McMichael, 64, said he saw Mr. Arbery running through his neighborhood and thought that he looked like the suspect in a rash of nearby break-ins. Mr. McMichael and his son, Travis, 34, armed themselves and began chasing him in a truck. Now, first of all, chasing him in a truck means that he's ahead of you and you're chasing him. That video clearly shows they got ahead of Arbery, stopped. Travis McMichael gets out of his car, truck, doors open, shotgun. He's waiting for Arbery to run towards him.
That's right. And Roland, it's important that you took that frame by frame because it completely refutes their previous narrative. That is not only untrue, it wasn't unclear on a few parts. It was a lie, right? There was no, hey, stop, we want to talk to you. They obstructed his path and they got out with firearms. At that point, everything that they were doing was illegal. They didn't have any authority to stop this man during his jog with guns and threaten him. And Ahmaud does what you would expect. He sees a man standing in front of him with guns, and he darts in the opposite direction.
And in fact, if we do this here again, now granted the car's approaching, if you roll a video back as Arbery is approaching, he's still oblivious. He runs around. Turn the audio up, please.
And it's important he ran over to the passenger side where Travis, who was the driver, had to cross over.
Right.
To meet him.
Right.
He is the aggressor, and he has no authority to do that. And if I'm on the road by myself, surrounded by men, and you approach me with a gun, everyone knows you only have two options there. You can fight, or it's fight or flight. And his path for flight was obstructed.
And then this prosecutor, George Barnhill, who initially said that to police there was insufficient evidence to arrest these men because they were operating under the Georgia law of making a citizen's arrest. First of all, we read it last week. You can only make a citizen's arrest if you actually see someone committing the crime.
That's correct.
There was nothing seen here. Their descriptions, oh, well, we saw him running. He looked like a suspect. We chased him. He wasn't carrying anything. It's not like he had a television in his arms. He was just jogging.
He's just jogging. And to be clear, they provided a description for the so-called suspect who they knew previously or believed previously had burglarized the neighborhood. And Ahmaud doesn't fit the description. And so they had no probable cause to believe that this was a person that they needed to stop. And if they desperately felt they needed to stop him, then they had the responsibility to follow him and wait for law enforcement to arrive.
And here's the problem. Grand juries are not being impaneled right now.
That's right.
So these two are walking around free, at home, doing whatever, could frankly shoot somebody else because nobody has arrested them. The reality is the cops could go arrest them right now, put them in jail. They would have to go before a judge. Judge can say, do I grant bail or not? The prosecutor can still go to the grand jury later. So they can arrest him now. They're choosing not to arrest them.
They're choosing not to, and it doesn't bode well for a prosecution in the future. This is the same prosecutor that our community will be asking for justice, for a vigorous prosecution and a fair sentencing. And this is a man who has had the file. This video that we're all outraged about, he's had it for over a year. For over a month, and he's done nothing with it.
So wait, hold up. So the prosecutor, he's had this video?
Yes, this is not new video to him. It's new video to us. We've been asking him for this video since we got involved in the case. The Arbery family has been asking for this video since February 23rd.
And last paragraph of the New York Times story, which frankly, I don't know how it's the last paragraph. A graphic video surfaced online Tuesday that appeared to show the shooting. In a letter to the police department, Mr. Barnhill described a video made by a third man who had joined the McMichaels in, quote, hot pursuit, unquote, of Mr. Arbery. So the reality is this here. This prosecutor, Tom Durden of Georgia's Atlantic Judicial Circuit, is only coming out today saying he will impanel a grand jury because this video was made public.
That's correct. He had every opportunity to do that up until today. And he didn't do it until someone leaked this video. It could have been someone in his office. It could have been a conscientious member of the community. But this is not new evidence to him.
Lee Merritt, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. We'll stay on top of this story.
All right. Thank you so much.
I want to bring in my panel right now. Brooke Thomas, host Controlling Our Narrative podcast. Kelly Bethea, first of all, waiting on Kelly, but Melik Abdul, Republican strategist. Brooke, I want to start with you. The fact that the reason we're even here is because of the fact that this video was leaked. This prosecutor, listen to Lee Merritt, this prosecutor had no intention of doing this now. They were going to sit on this. He's had this video. Anybody who read the previous prosecutor's account of this and then watched this video knows full well that first account was total BS.
Absolutely. You know, what's so frustrating about like any of the accounts at all is that how often still in this day and age, just simply being a black man is really pushed as like a probable excuse to kill somebody. You know what I mean? Like we saw it in Dallas with the off-duty police officer. And of course it was an accident, but it really essentially came down to like, he looks like he didn't belong here. I was completely on the wrong floor. But, you know, just to getting back to this had nothing to do with what they thought he was a suspect, a crime that they thought he may have committed, which turns out he didn't even really match the suspect at all. This was just, this black guy didn't look like he belonged. So let me get him. And how often is that what is going through somebody's mind? We have to get past it. We can't, this stuff has to start being prosecuted like strongly, much stronger than it is. It has to, because we're still in this space where being a black man, people are arguing that that's really it. That's the basis of their argument in so many of these cases like this.
Melik, what you're dealing with here is a prosecutor who was simply in bed with this investigator. What you have here is they did not want to charge this man. You cannot tell me that 2 months will go by and no one had the common sense to say something stinks here. These prosecutors were going to accept what these folks said. And in fact, the previous prosecutor acted more as the defense attorney for these men than an actual prosecutor.
Yeah, thank God for camera recordings. Thank God for whomever the person is who actually leaked the video.
Right. Well, no, hold on. First, I remember the person who recorded this, Melly, was involved in the pursuit.
Right. Well, I take that back. Sorry. I should just limit it to thank God for the person who actually leaked the video, because they already had the video there, and the gentleman actually said that. But this is another. So whether it's the 12-year-old looked as if he was carrying a real gun in Ohio, or someone walking through Walmart where they could legally carry a gun. These type of things, when it comes to that, the how we view black men and black bodies, this is just another example of that. This totally refutes the argument that the prosecutors were making. And I'm glad that this leaked, because now they don't have a choice. They should definitely be criticized, but now they have no choice, because everything that we were told prior to this about the pursuit, well, it's clear that they did not happen. And the fact that they had this information and would not turn over this information to the family, and it had to be leaked, this is to me, it seems like a clear-cut case of this being a cover-up.
Kelly, if the man who joined McMichael in the pursuit was not dumb enough to record this, the only narrative that we would have is that of McMichael and his son Travis that was fully accepted by the prosecutor. This reminds me of the Walter Scott shooting or any other police shooting, the Laquan McDonald shooting, that were it not for the video, we would not have anything to counter the police narrative. That's why I say the prosecutor in this case is operating more as the defense attorney for Travis and George McMichael than a prosecutor.
The fact that we even have to have this conversation yet again is just incredibly infuriating to me. The fact that we actually have to say, hey, prosecutor, do your job, be fair and unbiased, and stop siding on the defense attorney's side when you are supposed to be on the side of justice, that is not, it's just not fair. The fact that we have to even like question a police report, because by history's standing, we know that they can just make up whatever they want and they just won't tell the truth, is even more infuriating than the fact that this young man is dead. There are no words other than what I've said in the past, in that police officers just need to do better. If you have a racial bias, you should not be a police officer. And it's unfortunate that basically it feels like almost every police officer in these situations have a racial bias or are just straight up racist altogether. And the entire criminal justice system seems to lean on that side as well.
Again, this is absolutely stunning, folks. The video, again, was released online today. Attorney Lee Merritt then put it on social media, and then others began to pick up on it. Folks have been commenting on this all across social media. This man, Mr. Arbery, was murdered. This was murder. And these prosecutors, and these police officers in this locale in Georgia are protecting two murderers. In fact, since a third man was pursuing, they're protecting three people involved in this death. This is where the governor should use his authority. This is where the Georgia Bureau of Investigation should take this over, because clearly you cannot trust these local prosecutors. And for the prosecutor who has the case to all of a sudden today it's going to go to a grand jury when he's been sitting on this video for a month, shows you do not have justice there. We'll certainly keep following this story with all the details, folks. every single night. We've got some of the top black experts. You're not gonna see them on cable news or broadcast news because you swear black people aren't experts when it comes to this health crisis. That's why we have this show and why we do what we do every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Joining us right now is retired General Russell Honoré, the nation's first black Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Elders. John Hope Bryant, he's the founder of Operation Hope. Senator Kamala Harris of California, Dr. Cedrina Calder, retired General Lloyd Austin, Congresswoman Karen Bass, Commissioner Omari Hardick, Bureau President in Brooklyn, Eric Adams, Dr. Joseph Graves, America's Wealth Coach Deborah Owens, Dr. Corey Abear, Patel Salt, Howard University student, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Dr. Christy McDowell, Benja Ajilore, senior economist at the Center for American Progress, Gilda Daniels, again, author of the book, The Crisis of Voter Suppression in America. 4 stars, General Kip Ward. Dr. Oliver Brooks is president of the National Medical Association, president of the American Medical Association, Dr. Patrice Harris. Joby Benjamin, Dr. Alexia Gaffney, infectious disease specialist, Dr. Georges Benjamin, executive director of the American Public Health Association, Malcolm Nance, family medicine physician, Dr. Jen Caudle, Dr. Tashaka Cunningham, a molecular biologist, Kat Stafford. She's a national race and ethnicity reporter for the Associated Press. Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, who is the president of Howard University, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from the state of New York, William Spriggs, AFL-CIO economist, Andrea James, executive director of the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls. All right, let's go to Capitol Hill. Congressman Gregory Meeks, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson of Texas, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, mental health clinician Jamie Singletary, Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy, as well as Dylan Hayrie, ACLU Justice Division strategist. Dr. Cindy Duke, she's a virologist. Principal Steve Perry of Capitol Prep. Health and wellness specialist Dr. Yolandra Hancock. Desmond Meade, president of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Cliff Albright, who is the co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Michael Harriet with The Root. The Mina McWhorter, founder of Love by the Hand. Dr. Julianne Malvo, economist, president, Emerita Bennett College. Coroner Michael Fowler is the mayor of Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms, mental health therapist Suzette Clark. Justin Gibney, attorney and political strategist, and Bishop Vincent Matthews Jr. Dr. Suzette McKinney, CEO and executive director of the Illinois Medical District. Dr. Leon Madugal, president-elect of the National Medical Association. Jana Bailey, mayor of Moss Point, Mississippi, Mario King. We're going to keep driving this thing to make sure our people are fully aware, safe, protected from coronavirus. You getting the top medical experts, top business experts, top political experts, top religious experts, because that's why we do what we do. Unapologetically and unfiltered. Ain't nobody else in the black media space doing what we do. Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.